Hey guys, welcome to the total versus scores of 2016, 15, 17. Basically the last 3 years of us doing versus. Here's the first few that we did. Crash Tag Team Racing Crash Bash versus Twisted Metal. It says the results there. We're not going to review it. If we did every single one, the video would be 80 minutes long. That's how long it did when we last did. I'm here with Ryan Larell, by the way.
So,
and here's Ocarina of Time versus, as you can see. If you saw my one video of Water Temple versus actual results are rigged, saying it's rigged, acting like it's news. Brittany actually won that versus, unlike what was said in the video. I actually still need to change the description of that video to show that Ryan won. That Brittany won. To show that Brittany won. And that Ryan lost.
yeah, I still can't believe it. Oh my god. I'll win the next one.
The next Zelda one or next one in general?
Doesn't matter. Whatever one.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that. And then we had Tekken 2 versus. You can see the result. Crash Tag Team Racing versus. Crash Team Racing versus, which was the second versus with many people in it. And I won, but only because of the 100 thing. Like I've mentioned numerous times, I won Crash Team Racing because the 100 thing at the very end, and Amanda got 50, Jake got 9, which put me ahead. Very unfair. So later on we did the second one, but you see that soon. Then we did Super Mario Sunshine, which is the longest versus we ever did at that moment. Then Soul Calibur versus Soul Calibur 2, that is. Soul Calibur 2 versus, because it's Soul Calibur 2. And then Crash Tag Team Racing versus 2 is the second versus, and where we tied it up because we tied it up, so we need to do a third one, which I can actually capture card that game, so we can do that this year. That's gonna come soon this year. And then we had Slender, blah blah blah, Ape Escape, and there's Crash Nitro cards and lots of that. And we haven't even done the Loser Challenge for that. I haven't watched the OPM, and I have like a couple weeks to do that. Like I don't even know. I don't know what the deadline was, James. That Ryan actually that you gave me.
You go until Valentine's Day to watch it.
Because we set time limits for the Loser Challenges, so we can't just put it off any longer. But the person who gave the Loser Challenge is the one who decides how long you can put it off.
Yeah, we talked about that on Facebook.
Anyways, and then also, okay, haven't finished watching Orin, but that's for the Orin things from a whole bunch of different versuses. Yeah, and yeah, that's the score at 5, 5, 3, 3, 1, 1. That's funny. And then Tekken 4 versus, then Crash Team Racing versus 2. Jake actually won, like he rightly should have the first time. Unfortunately for me, I got last place, and I could have got second if I fucking made that jump. Let me show a clip of it real quick. Well, I'm in first. Yes, it's last lap, and I'm in first. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Oh no! Oh no! 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 I fucked up.
Every time I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Okay, clip was shown. Then we did Limbo versus Play Along, where we was doing so good at first, but then we lost. But in the end, didn't even matter. And I got last place. I knew the game more than Laura or Ryan did.
Yeah, you still lost.
There was a reason for that though. It's because many times I faked my reaction to make it look fair, but I think I still lost fair and square. But then we did that Madagascar mini golf, the mini game within the Madagascar game. And then we did Kingdom Hearts versus and Crash Team Racing versus all that. Those Loser Challenges was done, and then we did the Kingdom Hearts versus, which that eventually became the longest versus that we ever did, and the most disappointing one for me. Look at my score compared to your guys's.
Oh yeah, we wrecked you.
Yeah, and there's the Loser Challenges that still need to be done. The X's, like you might have read at the top what the symbols were for what the little, I don't know. It's not hard to comprehend. It's not hard to get what means what. But like we still need to do one more FNAF. We need to do FNAF 3 for FNAF Versus. I need this Scary Spider VR game. We need to do Orin episodes 3 through 5. We already did 2, and the Yuri thing, which is going to be on the anime channel, unlisted, because I don't want to I really don't want to do that, but it's a loser challenge, so you have to. Larell gave that to me because he knows that I'm not into that stuff, and I mean, not saying that I'm not into Yuri. I mean, I'm not, but it's not because I'm not into hentai, period. But Yuri is especially, though. The reason is, I like my girls. I like to be the one doing the fucking, not seeing another one and then another one. Or a guy in another one. It doesn't matter. I don't like either. But Larell likes it with 2 girls. That's why he gave that one to me.
Oh, yeah. But I don't even know what the one is James picked it. So he better pick a good one. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think a good one exists.
Troll. Yeah, troll.
Anyways, moving on. Majora's Mask Versus. Another disappointing versus, but I did really great in it. I almost won. But Brittany took it. Oh man, look at all my losses. Have you seen the last time I won though? So this is the last page of this versus this year. Then Inside Versus, I wasn't in it. I would have won if I was. I should have been in it. I could have had a win this year. I did not have one win. Look back. Look back. Look. No. 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 After Ape Escape Versus was the start of 2015. 10 and above was 2016 and 2015. And I did not win once. I got second place a couple times. Majora's Mask was the one I almost won. That was the closest I got to winning. But I fucked it up.
Yeah, you sure did.
And then Link's Awakening Versus. Again, Brittany won, but that was a rage quit finish, as it says. Because none of us like the game. We hate it. Brittany likes it because she won. Mandy probably likes it a little bit, but she doesn't like versus. But she got second place. But we just gave up on that.
No, I hate the game. Freaking game. The controls are stupid.
Yeah, and it's not just because an emulator. It was a lot of the game mechanics that had nothing to do with the emulator. But that was the last versus we did. It was Link's Awakening. So we only did 9 versuses last year. But that's more than we did for the 2 years, which was 11. Well, 1 and a half. 1 and 3. 1 and a third. Because we started versus in September of 2015. So yeah. And we did a couple, like 2 versuses at least in 2015. Started some of them and finished them later in 2016 or 2017. Honestly.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all the versuses. We haven't finished FNAF Versus, we haven't finished Minicap Versus, and we haven't finished Super Mario Galaxy Versus. Here's the total scores we had for 2017, which is everything Slender Versus and up. So, between me, Ryan, and Larell, Ryan had the most, and me and Larell were tied.
What the hell?
But between me, Ryan, Tyler, and Josh, despite what that says, we all had a tie from Super Mario Sunshine Ocarina of Time. And those were the scores. Me and Ryan were tied and all players scored at equal percentages, but Brittany has a higher percentage, but she was in less versuses, that's why. So we give a little bit of slack to someone who has been in more versuses, but has a slightly less percent. I try to make the limit 10%, so us being less than 10% under her puts us above her because we was in more versuses, so it's more fair. And also, versuses only involving us 7. That had me at the top. Before 2017, I was at the top between us 7. Hell yeah.
Sort of.
And look at Larell at 4.
Yeah, shut up.
But then, total scores after 2017. Oh boy, this is gonna be cringy for me. So between us 3, Ryan's now at 22, Larell's at 17, I'm at 12.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you're way behind.
Yeah, well, we're 5 apart each. If I'm way behind Ryan. I'm kind of behind you, and you're kind of behind him.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys suck.
But between me, Ryan, Larell, Tyler, and Josh, because now Larell's in it, since this is from Limbo Versus only Limbo Versus since then, so Tyler's now in the lead. Josh, well, you can see it. I'm not explaining it. Oh, wait. At the bottom it says, after Super Mario Galaxy Versus Play Along, that's what that means. The score between us will be uneven since Josh isn't in Galaxy Versus. So Portal 2 will even us up. And we're also going to do Portal 1 Versus with Tyler and Josh after we play the game first, so we know the game, and so it's fair. Because they do it so good, it's like they just played it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just play it and then record it. What we could do is we could practice and then play it.
Yeah, that could work. Do a practice run and then do it.
Now, all players. Now Brittany is so far ahead that even though she's been in less versuses, she's got a much higher percentage, 72%. Technically, Jake should be in first because he is 76%, but he's been in slightly more, and he's only slightly ahead of Brittany. And every time Brittany and Jake are in a versus together, Brittany always wins. So that's how I base that one. Ryan has the most wins out of everyone since he's been in more verses, even more than me now. But that's why he's in third, and I'm in fifth. Larell is in fourth.
No.
That's only because he barely... Technically, I should be in fourth because I have more, but he's beaten me. Since he's got more than points than me. That's how come I put him there. And James is like literally at the same part as me, except he's one less, but he's also been in less, so he's tied with me. No, he's still behind, just sort of close to tied. But Mandy is in seventh, which is technically last between the 7 of us. But then there's Tyler, Josh, Kayla, who's probably never ever going to be in a versus game. Neither is Selena. Donna's for the Super Mario Galaxy Versus. Now, Versus is only involving us 7. Brittany, still in the lead.
Yeah, that's my girl.
Yep, Brittany's still in the lead with, and Jake, Brittany has 70%, Jake has 66%, with winning 2/3 of the time. Brittany winning sort of the same. Because Brittany and Jake did a really good this year. James too. Mandy sort of also. Especially in Crash Nitro Kart. Sort of. For the first time at least. And Link's Awakening and Majora's Mask. No, not Majora's Mask. Link's Awakening she did. And Larell in dead last.
Shut up, huh?
And me and Ryan are still close to tie. I'm close to you and Jake between the 7 of us. I don't know how that happened, but that happened. But yep, that's what it is. But this year, I'm going to try and get my score up. Have you guys seen the movies Cars 3? This year was like Cars 3. I'm like Lightning McQueen right now. Brittany's like Jackson Storm. I just push myself so hard. I try so hard and got so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter.
Whoa.
Because, man, I know how Lightning McQueen feels. That movie depresses me. It makes me legit depressed. But I love the movie. It's awesome, nonetheless. But it's so feelsy.
Haha, your tears are delicious.
Yeah, I bet they are.
Yeah, I eat tears for breakfast. Sign.
Me too, because they're my tears, so they go to my mouth. Why are you licking my face then?
Shut up, that's not what I meant. Your tears fall down, they fall into a bowl, and I put cereal in it and I eat it. Oh, yeah.
Still weird.
No, shut up.
Great comeback. Okay, so these are the verses that we're planning on doing. And some of them, not all of them. We might not do some of these. Some of these I might switch up with the different verses because we might change our mind. But this is probably what we're going to do. I'll tell you what we are going to do. Crash Bandicoot 1 versus. Me and Jake have already recorded our full parts of the verses. I haven't edited the last few parts though, so let's avoid spoilers. But James recorded one, but he had to record that on a TV, with like a phone to a TV, like how we used to record, and onto the one TV, which Ryan recorded Ape Escape 3 on, the one that with lesser quality. So we're gonna have to figure out something. Maybe that TV, a TV we have, will look better. The kitties are messing around in the background. Kitty on. But hopefully we can get a TV working or a capture card working, because I have a capture card, but it won't record PS1 games. It won't show up on the capture card. I don't know if it's just because I don't have splitters for the audios, but I have a splitter for the video, so it should show up. I mean, it does show up for the when it starts up, but then once it gets to the game, it doesn't.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, we need to hurry up because my phone's battery is dying. But yeah, we're gonna do an Ape Escape versus 2. Probably isn't gonna happen because again, that's a PS1 game. We might do Ape Escape 2 versus. That might replace that. You guys might, Ryan, you might do Ape Escape 2 instead.
I don't know about that. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe not. That might be changed up. If it is, you'll know once it happens. And I'll even mention this saying that changed. But we're also doing Getting Over It versus, which is not listed on here for whatever reason. But it's going to be between me, Ryan, and Larell. We already recorded one episode. It's not finished, but we recorded it. Like, the video isn't finished. Still got some editing to do. I'm thinking of maybe trying to get an intro on that, but maybe not. Because, and then we have Sexy Hiking versus, which doesn't involve me or Ryan. Wow.
Oh, yeah, no.
But I'll probably play that on my channel though, because that looks like it's a very ragey game. I've seen Jack and Pewds play it. No, not Pewds. Mark. Maybe Jack. Maybe Pewds also. Maybe all three of them. But that's worse than Getting Over It. Though Jack thinks it's better. He did it much easier than what I saw. And then Ape Escape 3 versus is something that can happen with me, Ryan, Jake, and James, and possibly past me and Ryan, if I could figure out how to do that from our Let's Plays. I mean.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah, if I'd have to figure out what to do with the screens though, but that's also to come. And Zelda 1 versus, which that can be recorded on the GameCube because I have the collector's edition or something. I think that's what it is. I don't know. With the one with Zelda 1, 2, Oot, and MM. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I mean, if you don't get this, you don't. But can do that. And Crash Bandicoot 2 versus might have to. Well. I don't know how we're gonna do it. Maybe if I can get a better emulator and get in Crash 2 works better, because Crash 1 emulator didn't work so good. But maybe I don't know. Maybe, like I said, if we get a good TV that looks good, we might have to settle with a TV, which the last TV we was using, it was good. It looked pretty good. But now that TV doesn't work because I was stupid.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
Yeah, sure am. I embraced it. Cat Mario versus, can't wait to do. We have that on the laptop. We can record that anytime. Ocarina of Time versus, we can record that with the capture card. Hopefully I'm right on this, if it actually works. And then Crash Bandicoot 3 versus. The Crash Bandicoots are going to go in order. While this is happening though, there might be also Crash Bash or Crash Team Racing if we can get a good way to record those. If not, I don't know. And then Kingdom Hearts 2 versus PS2 game. We can record that on capture card with me, Ryan, Larell, and Brittany this time, because Brittany wants more versuses to beat us in.
Oh yeah.
I almost didn't want to be in the Kingdom Hearts versus because of last time of how badly I got wrecked. I want to redeem myself. If I lose again, then oh my god, I'll be so salty that I went to a freshwater lake and returned to an ocean. Surprised you didn't tell me to shut up.
I like to joke when you're the one being salty.
Sometimes you still say it even when I do it. Say shut up when I'm saying I'm salty.
Yeah, I shouldn't do that. I should be laughing at your salt.
Exactly. Wait, no. Brittany can play along with other verses to catch up in numbers. Oh yeah, after these verses, this is the second one. Right here, we're trying to get our scores even up. That's what this is all for. To get the others up, and so we're all have it been around the same amount of verses. Just between us 7, that is. We're trying to get each other even up in between us and Josh and Tyler and Donna too. So it's like a separate score. So it makes more sense. That way we don't have to keep doing verses with so many different people. I'm trying to split it up in 2 different sets. Or 3. Because like we have one for us 3 as well.
Yeah.
The total versus score is counting only first place. Ryan has won 6 versus first place, but most of them were just between us 3. So there's not the biggest major win is Crash Bash versus just us 3. One with all of us, he didn't win any of them.
Shut up.
I did, Crash Racing, but not that fairly though. Larell, his biggest major win is Kingdom Hearts versus. So those are 2 good wins because those are long versuses, but that was just between us 3.
It was so good though. That was a good one.
Yeah, both of you made big comebacks in those. Ryan and Crash Bash for the Kingdom Hearts. So you guys need to do like a tiebreaker of a big versus.
Oh yeah.
So we need to get more wins on the other 4 because every versus that had one of them in it, it was one of them that won, not us.
No.
Because Brittany won 3. All 3 of those were the Zelda versus. The only versus she lost was Crash Team Racing. That's because she didn't know how to play the game at first. But I think she's wanting to practice and be in the next one, whenever that is.
No. Yeah, she's been practicing.
Damn, that's gonna be. Watch her start taking over the Crash versus now too. She's gonna be the best in that. I swear, if she takes away my specialty, I'll be major salty. My salt will turn Mars into an ocean. I could go to Mars out and instantly fill up with salty water.
I know, right?
Jake won 3 versuses. Crash Team Racing, Crash Team Racing, Crash Nitro Kart, and Ape Escape. I won 2, Crash Team Racing and Tekken 2 between these 2, which that was only 3 episodes. Crash Team Racing was kind of a big versus, it was about 11 episodes. But I won that very unfairly, so I hardly consider that a win. James won 1, Crash Nitro Kart versus 2. Josh won 1, Mario Sunshine, that's a big one. Tyler won 1, Limbo versus, not a big one. Mandy won 1, Crash Nitro Kart versus. You see, Brittany beat the most people total.
Oh yeah.
This is probably still a long video, but it's not as long as what it was the first time I recorded this. Versus total scrolls of what you did better, what genre games. Zelda games. Brittany won 15, first place for all 3. Ryan got 2nd, I got 3rd.
Oh yeah.
But Crash games, Jake is the champion of that, and Mandy's 2nd, Ryan 3rd. At least I'm 2nd for 3rd. At least I'm 3rd for Zelda. But Crash, I'm 5th. We'll tie for 4th.
No, move.
Yeah. We need to fix that. Fighting games, Ryan, me, Larell. Hell yeah, I'm better at Larell than fighting games.
Yeah, but only in games. You ain't better than fighting me IRL.
We've established, Larell. How many times have you said that in a video now?
Oh yeah.
Versuses with over 10 episodes long. Me, 17, hey, laughing my ass off.
I like how you had to make one sort of list of what put you in first.
Yeah, that's the only spot I'm in first at when it comes to total scores. God damn it. This is total individual scores between us. Look how much Ryan's wrecking me.
Oh yeah, over 9 wins.
Yeah, me and Larell and Ryan are about even. And so it's the ones that are on screen. Except Brittany. Brittany has beaten Ryan so many times. Well, she's beaten everyone so many times, so it's not really, you know.
No, she beats everyone.
So does Jake. Jake wins a lot too. You can tell by his scores that we definitely do this year. Versus we need to make a big comeback against. We need to make big comebacks against Jake and Brittany, and I need to make big comebacks against you two.
Yeah, me too. I need to make a big comeback against all y'all motherfuckers. I'm gonna make a comeback against Brittany and Jake. They're my only competition. And the rest sometimes. I'm the competition all the time.
That is true. In every versus, you guys always are really close to each other.
We are true.
We're gonna get to recording verses soon. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see the next verses, be sure to subscribe to me, Ryan, and Larell. Mainly me and Ryan because we're the ones that actually upload. And Ryan does mostly the verses. I sometimes do verses, but I also do Let's Plays. Ryan might do some Let's Plays, but it's mostly just verses.
Yeah.
If you guys enjoyed this video and you see some more verses, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below and then let us know that you did. Subscribe to all 3 of us, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye. Yeah.
See ya.